Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Omega, live from New York Comic Con. And look who is sitting next to me but the Toddfather himself, the one and only Todd McFarlane. What up, kiddo?
Good.
How's
What
New York treating you,
up to? What are you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. What about you?
We're back, right? A couple years. Everybody took a little bit of time off, called the pandemic, and now conventions seem to be back in full force. This is my first one here in New York since 2019. Right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's my last one, too. So
Yeah.
we're back in the game, Todd. We're back in the game.
Yeah, been 3 years. Yeah.
No, but you're killing it in the game, man. You had a couple of little surprise announcements, some news on the Spawn front. So what's popping, man? What could you tell us and share with our audience today?
Well, again, you know, the sort of thing you're always trying to do is stay relevant and see if you can come up with something that people care about. Spawn's been around 30 years. So you got to work it. We got to work it every day, right?
17.
But Image Comics and Spawn are both celebrating their 30th anniversary this year. So we did a couple events, but we're going to end it with a big bang with the Batman Spawn crossover.
Whoa,
We're doing with Greg Capullo. Yes, and the pleasure I get in that is that I'm writing it and I'm inking it, and Greg Capullo's drawing it. Right, and Greg Capullo, obviously, this preeminent Batman artist. He's the best Spawn artist I've ever had. So the same artist who's so great at drawing those two characters is going to be the guy drawing the book, and then Greg and I are just going to do what we did for 80 issues when we did Spawn, was just act like 17-year-olds and have a fun time and just put out books that hopefully visually and story-wise just sort of knock you back a bit and you go, shoot, that was a fun ride, right? Hope they do it again.
That's definitely what I want to see. What's popping in the toy front? You're smashing the game there too, Todd. I mean,
last year the DC Multiverse, that was the number 1 selling action figure line, right? That beat all the other DC figures, beat all Marvel, Avengers, Spider-Man, you name it, and
gotta get used to it.
beat Star Wars. So, it's always interesting when the big boys with thousands and thousands of people can't do what a handful of us end up doing in a corner, but. We've got obviously the DC Multiverse are going to continue to grow. The Spawn figures are starting to grow and gain the momentum, especially with what's going to be happening here in the future with the movie and the comic book front. We, through the DC Multiverse, we've got the Black Adam figures that are out right now, given that the movie releases here on the 19th, and we signed a deal for the Avatar toys, right? So we've got the first movie figures are just about coming out, and then right around the advent of the release of the second movie, then we'll have the Avatar 2 figures go with that. So
banging. Since we're talking about movie theme, what's up with that Spawn movie? Man,
it's interesting. I keep saying to people, we're working behind the scenes during the pandemic, but there's a bit of an expiration date on people sort of trusting you to say, don't worry about it. Stuff's happening. You're going to just trust me, right? I mean, they only go so far. So I felt that it was time for us to drop some of the names of some of the people that have been working on the project and helping sort of the process. So we just announced the writer Scott Silver, who is the writer of The Joker and The Joker 2 and some other big movies that I'm a big fan of. Malcolm Spellman, the writer of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and is currently writing Captain America 4. And then the young talent, Matthew Mixon, who's got a sort of up-and-coming voice that we thought was valuable to the project. So, again, when you announce certain people, if you're in front of the camera, it's easy, right? You say, Jamie Foxx, people go, oh, I know that. Sometimes you say, hey, Malcolm Spellman, Scott Silver, they don't know. But if you say Joker, Winter Soldier, Captain America, then they're like, what? Right? Because usually what ends up happening is, when you put out a trailer, you do, the people behind the screen, it's usually from the producer of, from the director of, from the writers of, right? And so this one will have this litany of sort of, from the producer of Get Out, from the writer of Captain America, from the writer of Joker, from the co-creator of Venom, and oh, by the way, that we're not even talking, and whoever the director is will be able to add that pedigree. So people go, what? I saw that movie, I saw that movie, I saw that movie. Man, but even more so, putting together sort of an all-star team will make it way, way easier for Hollywood to finally say, yeah, we'll do it, right? So that should be the next big news is we'll go into Hollywood at some point when we're all ready, the team's ready, and hopefully somebody will bite and bite hard, and we'll come back and go, hey, we sold it, we got the money, and we got a start date of production, so let's go, right? And what should happen is after a long wait of finally getting to that first one, if it works and it's successful, then hopefully the others will tumble behind it, right?
Yes.
So we'll see how it all goes.
All right, and of course, while with this conversation, Beef, I want to ask about the Spawn comic,
yeah.
the comic book universe. What's popping off there that people need to know, man?
Well,
It's the hottest book in the market.
Yeah, we during the pandemic, we expanded the Spawn universe from 1 book to 4. All 4 of those books, on the release of them, Spawn Universe, King Spawn, Gunslinger, and the Scores, all set some kind of record, right? I mean, the Batman Spawn is going to set and be the biggest selling book this year, right? King Spawn was the biggest selling book last year. But all 4 of them, surprisingly, are selling at about the same rate. So people didn't sort of pick their favorites. They're sort of treating them like as a family and supporting all 4 of them. And we've got some miniseries and one-shots we're going to be announcing that are coming down the pipeline.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. My money ready for you. Don't you worry, I'm ready to spend, man.
That's it.
All right, so is there any particular figure in the new line that you're digging? Need to know that those 5 figures.
It's interesting because I get to see them when they're like unpainted and they're just like super prototype before all the cuts. And to me, that's like, I'm like, oh man, that looks good, right? And I get to see all the detail on it. I'm a big fan of the ones, and there's plenty on the Spawn side and the DC Multiverse side that are like big and bulky and chunky and have like texture and detail and stuff like that. We're trying to add that too, even into the Avatar line, with the Banshees and all the creatures that are in there, and then with the characters, the Navis, the blue people, they've got like all this sort of cool accessory detail. So wherever you got textures that you can either look at detail and or put paint on it so that it sort of feels more like a model. Those are the ones that I go, yeah, this one's going to work, right? I know which ones are usually going to work in advance, and I'm usually not wrong too many times.
So I do gotta ask though about that Avatar. How did that even come into play, baby?
The Avatar movie.
I mean, the opportunity for you guys.
Yeah. Well, when the first Avatar movie came out, I had the pleasure of meeting James Cameron and talking to him about doing potentially toys on the first one.
Okay.
We didn't get it. He said a lot of people on his staff recommended me because they had been collecting our stuff. They ended up going, Fox, not James, but Fox ended up going with another company.
And making a horrible decision.
a public company, and it didn't do as well as they wanted, and the quality wasn't sort of where James Cameron, who's a stickler, wanted it to be. So I assume when the second one came around, somebody on his side must have remembered, hey, we bypassed McFarlane the first time. If we want quality, we got to go back to him. So and we came back, and they downloaded us with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pieces of reference, and they wanted us to just nail it as close as possible. So we've been working hand in hand with them for over a year, and to get it right, to get it look good and to get it right.
Wonderful. You hear this, folks? This man don't stop. He's a machine, bro.
Yeah, it's it.
What else are we going? Are we going to go back into video games or something? What's next? Especially with this vast universe.
Yeah, no, the answer would be yes. So what I'm a patient man, and what should happen is that once we make the big announcement for the movie, then the floodgates will open, right? And everybody will go, oh my God, I could get it, hopefully, especially if it's successful, but even before that, people will then come out of the woodwork and go, hey, we need to make hats and shirts and video games and patio furniture and everything in between, right? So, that's it.
Man, next business that he's gonna get into is fabrics business. We're gonna get a whole bunch of linens and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fire. But Todd just takes over. Anything he touches turns to gold.
Yeah.
So all right, folks, that's what it is. You can follow Todd everywhere. You know what the business is. Yo, thank you so much, Todd. You rock, but you are the king of this for real, bro.
No, good to see you again.
Likewise, brother.
Good to be in person with you again.
Likewise, absolutely. You know what to do. Follow Comic Crusaders everywhere. comiccrusaders.shop. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. ¡Huepa!